Input, output, garbage in, garbage out. Hey, my name is Brian Kem, and thank you to everyone who's subscribed. I've reached 3,000 subscribers, so I'm sharing a powerful idea today. And let's go ahead and jump right in. It's important to watch what you consume, not only with food, but also with information, especially in our increasingly digital world. That's why I suggest more people start what's called an information diet. And it doesn't necessarily mean consuming less. That's what a lot of people get wrong. Just as many food diets require people to eat more of the healthier food and avoid the junk, the same rings true for an information diet. We should seek out useful ideas while trying to avoid the noise. And this applies to what we read, what we listen to, and what we watch. An information diet is useful on so many levels. It can reduce stress, improve investment returns, build healthier relationships, move up faster at work, and many other areas of life. Although I do have to admit, many people will struggle with an information diet, just as much as a food diet. Picking up new habits is not easy. Either way, I'm going to give you 2 techniques that you can use to improve your focus and learning process. I personally used these and have seen a huge impact. Up first, keep the 80-20 rule in mind, also known as the Pareto principle. It states that about 80% of results come from 20% of the work. Now, it is just a rule of thumb and it doesn't always fit, but I think most people would be surprised how often it does. The idea originally comes from Italian economist Vilfredo Pareto back in 1896. He noted that about 20% of the population in Italy owned about 80% of the land. He then studied other countries and saw similar results. Going further, you can find the 80-20 rule everywhere. Just a few examples. The average person wears 20% of the clothes in their closet about 80% of the time. And anecdotally, I think that makes sense with my lifestyle. For a second example, with traffic, about 20% of drivers cause roughly 80% of accidents. At the bar, 20% of drinkers often consume 80% of the alcohol. At home, 20% of carpet that you walk on receives about 80% of the wear and tear. So how does all this apply to an information diet? Well, try to avoid the busy work and focus on the areas and information that's going to have the most impact, preferably long-term impact. It does take time to separate the wheat from the chaff, or if you're not familiar with that farming phrase, analogy, that takes me back to my Iowa and 4-H roots. It takes time to separate the useful work from the busy work. And this is an ongoing or just continuous process. Although simply keeping the 80-20 rule in mind can help you focus more on the useful information while trying to avoid the junk. Now, on to the second technique, or more so process. Always try to find the source and motives of your information. Now, I used to think this was common sense, but I found out it's not too common, at least in practice. It can be really easy to get sucked into stories we see online and take them at face value. Often, people will even regurgitate these ideas they see as if they're their own, having not really looked into the issue from an objective lens. So always try to keep a healthy level of skepticism. Too often, facts and quotes are taken out of context. This is intentional to craft or strengthen a certain message. And to be honest, it's often unavoidable. So just try to look to the facts and not just the ones that support what you believe. Avoid confirmation bias and learn to get a better handle of cognitive dissonance. When it comes to investing, if you ignore this advice, it will almost definitely lower your long-term returns. And I hope that this approach comes through in my videos. I pack in a lot of research and I try to look at topics from many different angles. And I strive to deliver useful information in a concise way. So I hope that's worth a quick like on this video. And for my existing subscribers, if you haven't tapped that bell button below for notifications, I'd appreciate that as well. Finding a credible and objective source of info is vital, and with that comes understanding the motives behind it. For example, most news networks and social media platforms have one major goal. That's to keep you and me engaged so they can serve up more advertisements. Many online social networks have become cesspools and echo chambers. The minds behind these platforms know that people are more likely to engage with content they already agree with, aka confirmation bias. So be wary and always try to consider, why is a certain network or person sharing this information? There's always a motive, and some are better than others. I hope this video here motivates you to try out an information diet. Be more careful and strategic with the info you consume. As a result, your understanding of people and the world should compound. Thanks for stopping by today, and really these concepts helped me save my first $100,000. You can check out this video that gives more insight into how I accomplished that. And as always, please let me know if you have any comments or questions down below. Thank you.